Modern cars can rack up 100,000 plus deliberate restarts and still drain themselves dead while parked. No fault codes, no warning, just a ghost that empties your battery. But that's not all. Some smart updates can brick a dashboard, a $3,000 headlight can't be rebulbed, and a postcard-sized motor behind your grille can quietly cook the engine you paid to protect. Here's the deal. We're unpacking 25 features that look brilliant in brochures but punish you in real life. How they fail, what the bill looks like, and the exact moves that outsmart them. It gets worse. A few are so problematic that manufacturers are already walking them back in newer models, while others hide behind lab test fuel wins that trade years of longevity for pennies at the pump. Feature number 1, start-stop systems. Ever notice how calm the cabin feels at a red light right until the engine thumps awake? That jolt isn't free. It's extra starter cycles, voltage sag, and a momentary drop in oil pressure when bearings most need a cushion. But that's not all. Many systems rack up 5 to 6 times the normal crank count, piling wear on starters and AGM batteries while delivering maybe $80 a year in fuel savings. Small savings, big wear. The reason this is happening: emissions targets reward lab wins, not longevity. So the hardware takes the hit long before 100,000 miles. Disable it every drive or add a memory module and run quality full synthetic oil to soften the blows. Feature number 2, over-the-air updates. A car that updates like a phone sounds brilliant, until a weak 12-volt, spotty Wi-Fi, or a door opening mid-flash freezes critical modules and leaves you with a dark screen and a shifter that won't engage. It gets worse. Some models refuse to go into drive after a stalled download, forcing a tow and dealer reprogramming for software you never asked to change. One glitch, zero mobility. But listen to this. Most failures trace back to low system voltage or interruptions, not mysterious bugs. Treat updates like surgery, planned, powered, controlled. Only accept essential patches, connect on a stable charger, or after a long drive, ensure strong signal, and keep the car closed and undisturbed until complete. Feature number 3, electronic door handles. Flush, pop-out handles look futuristic. Right up until ice, a weak battery, or a tiny motor failure turns your door into a sealed display case. That's not just inconvenient. In a crash or a winter storm, seconds matter and software shouldn't be the gatekeeper. It gets crazier. Some systems fail half open, others won't present at all, and replacements can run hundreds per handle while you wait for parts. Cool styling, cold reality. The reason this is happening is simple. A $3 mechanical lever became a fragile mechatronic puzzle living outdoors. Choose cars with mechanical handles when possible, learn the hidden emergency release on yours today, and keep seals clean and dry before deep freezes hit. Feature number 4, haptic touch controls. Smooth glass panels feel space age, until heat, UV, and skin oils bubble sensors, and your taps misfire into seat heaters instead of AC. But that's not all. Thin, laminated membranes age fast. Winter gloves block input, and when the panel dies, many brands replace the whole module, not the $2 switch behind it, turning a hiccup into an $1,800 to $2,500 bill. Buttons beat glass. The reason this is happening: capacitive grids drift with temperature and wear, while safety-critical functions now ride on a consumer electronics part. Choose interiors with real buttons for climate and hazards. Keep panels clean and shaded. Carry a slim stylus as a backup, and avoid pressing hard. Light, deliberate taps extend life. Feature number 5, active grille shutters. A postcard-sized motor tries to juggle plastic vanes inches from road shrapnel. One ice chunk jams it, and coolant temps spike fast. It gets worse. Jammed shutters choke airflow, fans scream, and limp mode can hit at highway speed. Then you pay $500 to $1,500 after the bumper comes off to reach it. Heat rises. The reason this is happening is simple. Exposed linkages, salt, and grit overstrain a tiny actuator that was spec'd for wind tunnel winds, not winters. Shine a flashlight through the grille at every oil change. Rinse the area before startups in snow. Scan for P059F. And free or replace sticky units early before they cook radiators, condensers, and turbos. Feature number 6, wet timing belts. In oil. Soaking the belt in oil lowers friction on paper, while shedding rubber fibers that sludge the pickup and starve bearings and turbos in real life. But listen to this. Some engines shred belts under 60,000 miles, turning a quiet commute into bent valves, failed turbos, and a 5,000 plus cascade. Quiet today, catastrophe tomorrow. The reason this is happening: oil additives attack the elastomer, micro cracks release debris, and the strainer clogs before warning lights appear. Replace the belt early, 50,000 to 80,000 miles max. Use high-quality full synthetic oil with short intervals. Inspect the pickup screen when service is open, and if you're shopping, favor chain-driven designs and skip wet belt engines entirely. Feature number 7, air suspension. That velvety floating ride hides a maze of rubber bladders, valves, lines, and a compressor that cooks itself trying to mask tiny leaks. But that's not all. One corner sags overnight, the pump runs overtime, moisture corrodes valves, and winter freeze turns condensation into ice that rips seals when pressure spikes. Small leak, big bill. The reason this is happening: permeable rubber slowly seeps, desiccant fills saturate, and compressors aren't designed for continuous duty. Drain moisture traps regularly. Replace aged desiccant. Use nitrogen fill to reduce water. Inspect height sensors and lines at each service. And if the leaks start stacking up, convert to quality coil springs and end the spiral before it becomes a $5,000 habit. Feature number 8, electric water pumps. On paper, it's clever. Precise flow, cool down after shutdown, no belt drag. In reality, failures are sudden and silent. A cracked housing or fried control board stops flow instantly, and the temperature light is your only warning. It gets worse. No drip to spot, no squeal to hear. Just boiling hot spots that warp heads and scorch turbos if you keep driving. No warning, big damage. The reason this is happening: electronics live in heat and vibration, and plastic impellers plus PWM control stress the motor. Replace proactively around 60,000 miles, pair with a fresh thermostat, bleed the system carefully, monitor temps with a scan tool, and never nurse it home once the overheat alert appears. Shut down in tow. Feature number 9, tire pressure sensors with sealed batteries. TPMS should save you from a blowout, yet the sealed coin cells inside each sensor die on their schedule, not yours. But listen to this: as batteries fade, sensors drop out intermittently, trigger false alarms, or flood the dash with warnings you start to ignore, turning safety tech into noise. Silent failure, real risk. The reason this is happening: lithium cells age with heat cycles and can't be replaced. Each new sensor needs programming and sometimes relearn drives. When one dies after year 7, replace the full set at once. Budget for reprogramming, use non-metal valve caps to prevent galvanic seizure, and refresh rubber valve stems with every tire change to avoid leaks and stuck cores. Feature number 10, brake-by-wire systems. Brakes used to be simple hydraulics. Now sensors, pumps, and code decide how you stop. But that's not all. A weak 12-volt, corroded connector, or misread wheel sensor can dump you into limp braking, or none, while dash lights bloom and the pedal feels wrong. When modules fail, many independents won't touch it, and dealer replacements can top $3,000 with calibration. Confidence evaporates. The reason this is happening: software blends region and friction with millisecond timing, so any voltage dip or signal mismatch collapses the algorithm. Replace the 12-volt battery early, flush fluid on schedule, keep grounds and connectors clean, and scan boosters and sensors before buying used so you don't inherit a ghost fault. Feature number 11, run flat tires. Drive 50 miles at 50 miles per hour. Sounds liberating. Until you see the bill and the ride, it gets worse. Extra reinforcement makes them heavier and harsher, beating up bushings and shocks, while many can't be patched if a nail is near the shoulder. Blow one on a Sunday and shops rarely stock replacements. You're stranded with a tow and a 1,200 to 2,004 corner hit. Freedom isn't free. The reason this is happening: stiff sidewalls survive deflation but shred internally when run low, and added mass amplifies impacts into rims. Swap to conventional tires. Carry a compact spare or at least a quality plug kit and inflator, and recalibrate TPMS if required by your model. Feature number 12, button dial shifters. The sleek knob or row of buttons looks minimal until a spilled latte, sticky micro switch, or low voltage traps the transmission in park. But listen to this. Unlike a mechanical linkage, you can muscle. Shift-by-wire needs perfect signals to move a pawl. When it glitches, you're not going anywhere, and parts delays turn driveways into parking lots. Repairs often run $900 to $1,500 with programming. Shiny until it isn't. The reason this is happening: space-saving designs replaced robust levers with sensors and actuators that hate liquids and voltage dips. Learn the manual release location today, keep liquids away from the console, maintain a strong 12-volt battery, and favor mechanical levers when you have the option. Feature number 13, 8 to 10. Speed automatics. More gears sound smoother, but packing 4 planetary sets and 6 clutches into a compact case means thin parts, high pressures, and software constantly guessing the next ratio. But that's not all. Missed predictions cause bangs, flares, or surprise neutrals, sometimes before 30,000 miles, and rebuilds can run $5,000 to $9,000 if parts are even available. Shifts should feel invisible. The reason this is happening: tight tolerances, glaze clutches, heat-cook solenoids, and adaptive maps chase noise into the tune. Change fluid and filters every 40,000 miles. Add an auxiliary cooler if you tow, and scan for slip counts or adaptation limits at the first hint of delay, shudder, or flare. Then fix before the clutches fry. If this helped, drop your year, make, model, and mileage. I'll reply with the top 2 preemptive checks that save it from its most common failure. Quick wins, big savings. Feature number 14, electronic parking brakes. A tidy button replaces a stout lever, but tiny motors inside rear calipers live in salt, heat, and water, and when they seize, you're going nowhere. It gets worse. Low voltage or a software hiccup can lock the car in place, and replacement calipers need coding, pushing totals toward $2,000. Parked becomes stranded. The reason this is happening: duty cycle limits get ignored during winter drag, boots crack, and corrosion binds the screw. Replace the 12-volt battery by year 4. Rinse wheel wells after salty drives. Cycle the EPB periodically to keep threads free. Grease slide pins every service. And if you can choose, pick a manual lever. Mechanical backups rarely fail closed. Feature number 15, smart charging alternators. Your dash looks fine, yet the system quietly floats at 11.9 to 12.2 volts to shave fuel, letting the battery live at 70 to 80% state of charge where sulfation accelerates. But listen to this: AGM or EFB batteries that should last 6 years often die in 2, and owners keep blaming the battery instead of the charging strategy. Undercharge is damage. The reason this is happening: computer-controlled regulators drop output during cruise, then spike on decel for regen, which isn't enough for short-trip cars. Top off monthly with a quality maintainer, use the correct AGM/EFB replacement, check resting draw and charge voltage with a meter, and where supported, code the system for traditional charging to extend battery life dramatically. Feature number 16, sealed LED headlights. They're sold as lifetime lights, yet a single bad solder joint, moisture leak, or heat-soaked driver module can black out the entire unit. But that's not all. Many assemblies are fully sealed and require bumper removal, turning a flicker or foggy lens into a $900 to $3,000 replacement per side, with no bulb to swap. One fault, whole unit. The reason this is happening: LEDs hate heat and moisture, and compact housings trap both, accelerating failure long before warranties end, especially in snowy, salted climates. Choose trims with serviceable halogens or proven modular LEDs. Inspect for condensation after storms. Avoid pressure washing the seams. Consider an extended lighting warranty, and budget to replace both sides if one quits. Feature number 17, oversized wheels and low-profile tires. Big wheels look sharp in the showroom, then crack, bend, and hammer your suspension once real roads show up. It gets worse. Short sidewalls leave almost no flex, so potholes transfer straight into rims and control arms, while extra unsprung weight hurts ride, braking, and EV range. Style taxes performance. The reason this is happening: a 30 to 35 series tire can't cushion impacts, and heavier rotating mass multiplies shock loads you feel as tramlining and harshness. Downsize 1 or 2 inches. Pick a taller sidewall. Aim for 45 to 55 series. Choose reinforced rims only if needed. Keep pressures at spec. Add road hazard coverage and realign after any impact or wheel change to save tires and joints. Feature number 18, plastic engine parts, coolant tanks, thermostat housings, oil pans, even timing chain guides went plastic to save weight, and they embrittle, warp, and split under underhood heat. But listen to this: failures rarely creep. They erupt, dumping coolant or oil and doubling costs when buried parts require hours of labor. Plastic cooks, metal survives. The reason this is happening: repeated heat cycles create micro cracks and creep, while coolant chemistry and pressure spikes finish the job around 60 to 90,000 miles. Replace known weak plastic parts proactively with aluminum upgrades, refresh hoses and clamps at the same time. Pressure test the cooling system yearly, and pair new tanks with fresh caps to control pressure and prevent the next rupture. Feature number 19, keyless entry systems. Walk up, touch, start. Meanwhile, the car keeps listening all night and quietly draining a healthy battery in a week or two. But that's not all. Relay thieves can amplify your fob from inside your house and drive away in under 20 seconds, leaving no broken glass and a long insurance fight. Convenience invites risk. The reason this is happening: constant polling keeps modules awake, and wide open RF makes cloning easy if you don't block it. Store fobs in Faraday pouches at home. Disable passive entry where possible. Turn off Sentry telematics when parked long-term. Keep a smart maintainer on infrequently driven cars. And verify sleep current is under approximately 30 milliamps after lockup. Feature number 20, soy-based wire insulation. Eco-friendly jackets sounded brilliant until rodents discovered the buffet under your hood and started nibbling signal wires into chaos. It gets worse. One tiny bite can corrupt a sensor, trigger random warning lights, kill charging overnight, or knock out power steering mid-turn. Then you pay 4 figures for a harness. Small chew, big failure. The reason this is happening: plant-based polymers smell edible, wick moisture, and age faster with heat, accelerating corrosion at the nick. Armor the bay with rodent deterrent tape, stainless mesh over entry points, and peppermint pepper sprays. Avoid food in the garage, park indoors when possible, set traps early, and photograph damage for insurance before repairs begin. Feature number 21, low-tension piston rings. To win lab fuel scores, manufacturers cut ring tension and oil viscosity, trading drag for sealing, and oil sneaks past into the chambers. But listen to this. Rings coke up, stick in their lands, and suddenly you're burning a quart every 1,000 miles while the catalytic converter chokes on ash. Quiet wear, loud bills. The reason this is happening: low tension struggles under vacuum on decel, thin oils carbonize, and once rings microweld, a short block is the cure, not additives. Log oil use at every fill, shorten oil intervals, use high detergency full synthetic, perform periodic high load heat cycles to keep rings free, and if consumption climbs, fix it early before the CAT and O2 sensors die. Feature number 22, panoramic glass roofs. They look like a rolling greenhouse, and that's the problem. Glass traps heat, elevates cabin temps, and forces the AC to work overtime while adding heavy mass high above the center of gravity. But that's not all. Adhesives shrink, drains clog, and thermal shock creates spider cracks that spread fast. Insurers don't always cover stress failures. Hotter cabin, heavier roof. The reason this is happening: glass radiates heat inward and carries load across long seams that fatigue as the body flexes. Choose a steel roof when possible. If you own glass, add quality ceramic tint, keep drains clear, inspect seals every service, avoid sudden cold water on sun-baked glass, and photograph minor chips early for insurance documentation. Feature number 23, tire mobility kits. No spare. Automakers traded spares for a compressor and sealant bottle that only helps with tiny punctures, and the goop expires quietly on a shelf you never see. It gets worse. Sealant can ruin TPMS sensors, stain wheels, and still won't save a sidewall sliced by a pothole. Then it's tow truck time. Convenience collapses under load. The reason this is happening: weight and packaging targets deleted the failsafe, betting most flats are small nails you'll catch early. Carry a real compact spare with jack and wrench, or at minimum a quality plug kit plus inflator. Check sealant expiration dates, practice a safe roadside plug at home, and add roadside assistance coverage for the times a plug won't hold. Feature number 24, capless fuel fillers. Skipping a cap sounds clean until a grain of grit keeps the internal flaps from sealing and your dash lights up with evap leak codes. But listen to this. Replacements often require removing trim and cost far more than an old cap, and in deep cold those flaps can freeze, making fill-ups messy or impossible. Simple idea, fussy reality. The reason this is happening: spring-loaded seals need perfect closure to pass vacuum tests, and dust, sand, or ice defeats the mechanism. Keep the supplied plastic funnel in the car, clean the neck area every few months, consider a snap-on dust cover, avoid topping off after the pump clicks, and clear snow and road salt before opening the door. Feature number 25, always-on electronics. Your car off isn't off. It's quietly sipping power for apps, telematics, and keyless sensors that wake up all night. But that's not all. Many modern SUVs idle at 70 to 150 milliamps, enough to flatten a healthy battery in 10 to 14 days, while features like Sentry modes can burn 8 to 10% of charge per day in EVs. Park at the airport for a week and return to silence. It gets worse. Low voltage cascades into module errors, EPB lockups, and corrupted updates that multiply the bill. Small draw, big trouble. The reason this is happening: convenience features poll, ping, and handshake constantly, and every wake cycle costs current. Disable unused background features. Verify sleep current under approximately 30 milliamps, and use a smart maintainer whenever the car sits more than a week. Reliability isn't luck, it's strategy. You just map 25 silent killers and the moves that beat them. Disable parasitic features, swap weak plastics for metal, downsize wheels, top off batteries, change fluids early, and carry a real spare. Simple habits, massive lifespan. But listen to this. Your AC performance is the canary for system health and comfort. Next, I'll show you fast checks and tweaks that drop cabin temps quickly, protect the compressor, and save range. Tell me your year, make, model, and mileage, and I'll tailor a 5-point reliability checklist you can run this weekend. Final disclaimer: not professional advice. Consult a qualified expert as needed.